Today, we're going to talk about making comparisons in Spanish. Now, comparisons in Spanish work differently than they do in English. So just keep that in mind. And one of the things that we always use when comparing things in Spanish is adjectives. So let's review the 6 different types of adjectives are in Spanish. There are masculine singular adjectives, those describe L nouns. Feminine singular, those describe law nouns. No gender singular, those can describe L or law nouns without changing. There are masculine plural, feminine plural, and no gender plural. And it's important to know all these types of adjectives because you use a certain adjective to describe different nouns or what the noun is. So remember, masculine adjectives will end in O or OS, and feminine adjectives end in A or AS. And no end gender adjectives will end in E, ES, N, or L. They can also end in S when plural as well. ES is there. So just a quick reminder that if you have an L noun, you need a masculine singular or a no gender singular adjectives. So when we're creating a comparison in Spanish or in English, a lot of times we add ER to the end. So like taller, prettier, smarter. In Spanish, we always have to say more or less something. So to create a sentence, you're going to have your subject and then your verb, which is generally ser, but not always. Then you'll have más or menos, which means more or less. Then you'll have an adjective, and this adjective will agree with this subject. Que, which is than, and then whatever you are comparing it to, a noun. So what you are saying is your subject is more or less this adjective than something else. Don't forget that you need to make your adjectives agree, and go ahead right now and write 3 examples and then show me. There are irregular comparisons, and the irregular comparisons are almost easier because you're just using these words. So once you memorize these words, you just use the word as it is. Just like in English, we don't have gooder as a word. It goes to better. So this is irregular. So we have mejor que, worse than, peor que, older than, mayor que, and younger than, menor que. So these have their own words instead of saying más or menos and then an adjective. And these work very similarly, except that since these are combining a more and your adjective, you just have the one word. So subject plus a verb plus your mejor, peor, mayor, menor, que plus what you're comparing it to. And so what you're saying here is the subject is better, worse, older, or younger than the noun. And you should do 3 examples of these. These can be confusing because there's a lot of different elements to keep straight, but it's a simple subject, verb, adjective agreement. So if you slow down and just make sure that your subject and verb agree and your adjectives and nouns agree, then you'll be fine.